Bob Huber, Vintage Lambo. We're coming to the end of the machining process on these carburetors. The goal is no fuel leaks on this car. You know, these cars can break or get damaged, but once things catch on fire, that's it. They're done. And they made so few of these cars, we really want to prevent any fuel leaks. So that said, this is going to be kind of a documenting the extent to what I did on each carburetor. So yes, it's going to be a little bit long. I'll cut to the chase. I feel real good about what's been done on these carburetors. Please like and subscribe. And okay, let's get into it. Bob Huber, Vintage Lambo. Let's get into the other 5 carburetors. I'm going to go ahead, check all of these, make sure that they're going to be perfect and make perfect seal. I'll do these bottom pieces here, the little covers. Then I'll check out the actual bottom of the carburetor bodies. Okay, I'm going to do a quick snippet of each one here, and you can see the problems on this one. This happens to be the AM, which is a stamping that's on the car body. All right, next, which is the BR, and you can see it has some just really manufacturing problems, a little bit of a problem here and there. Okay, so then we'll go to the next one. Okay, third in line, the AF, and you can see it has, again, this manufacturing situation with these lines in it right there, but a little bit of a problem here and a little problem down here. Next one here, this is a BF. This is a little bit crazier. Right here you can see that everything is smooth, but it's dipped. And then over here you can see that there's some corrosion issues down here and then also down here. So this one here seems to be the most serious at the moment. Okay, the last, this is the 5th, the 6th, as you know, that's already been done, BM. And again, you have the manufacturing marks here from their way that they level it out, but you can see it has a little bit of issues here around here and on this side here. All right. Okay, so I've done 4 of these, and I don't put a lot of pressure on it. This is sort of the first round through it. I'm going to show you this one here. It's got a little problem down here and whatever, and we're just going to go back and forth a little bit here. And then I just do a 90-degree change and go back. And you know, I don't expect any of these to be, you know, real good the first time around. So we're just going to find out how it looks. Okay, so we can kind of look at this one here. And so yeah, you can see definitely showing up the problems here. This is going pretty good. The factory marks are starting to go away. We're getting pretty close as far as getting rid of factory marks, which is real good because they seem a bit deep. I mean, it's unnecessary. But we do have some other issues, as you saw. So we still have this problem down in here. So okay, that was AM. So what we're going to do, you can see some of the problems that are in there, and this little sneaky one right there. This one again, that's corrosion problems there, and some corrosion, but this one's getting pretty good. Okay, so I'm just going to put a fresh piece of stick-on sandpaper in here, and then I'm just going to end up going finer and finer and finer. And you know, once we get rid of a lot of this deep stuff, then I'm going to just switch it to finer and finer paper. Okay, not done yet, but I thought I'd just give you a little bit of an update here, let's say on AM. And so we still have some problems here, but everything else is shaping up good. And this AF, we have this problem right in here still, but everything else is shaping up pretty good. This BR is probably the best of the bunch, I think, at the moment, but we still just have a little bit of that. I'm just going to try and clean it up while we're here. And then, you know, we have like, somehow it got just a crease right across. That would definitely be a leak of some small sort, I would think. So it's getting there. And then BM with that, and that was one of the sneaky ones also, where it led to one of the screw holes. And that's coming along pretty good. So I think one more round of what I was doing, maybe two, and then we can start going with finer and finer wet and dry paper. Okay, so last little round here of the final cleanup on these. This one came out really nice. This AF was took some work, but I got a good result out of it. The BR was always pretty decent, and you can see not too much corrosion on that one. You can see where there's quite a bit of the corrosion, but this one is in very good shape. I don't see any problem with that, and it has a surface finish that's actually better than the factory. So in some respects, of course, there is a little bit of pitting left on this one. But it's very minor right in that little corner there. A couple little tidbits, but I think it's going to seal very well. Okay, well, on to the bodies. Back on the mill. Okay, so you've seen this before where I've you know, gone ahead and I make sure that this surface here is going to be as flat as possible. As far as me when I start off, I'm going to be taking all of this bluing off. And these small pits and whatnot. I'm not going to go through the story of me boring you with the noisy milling machine. Okay, so this is this car body is AM. I'll get the number of the top a little bit later when we line them all up. But it took a little bit to get it to this condition. So it's 17 thousandths I had to take off of this to clear everything up. All right, I'll clean this one up, put it together, and then we'll get another one up here if we need to. All right, so this is probably the best out of the 6 carbs. Right now, let me put some light on the subject. Perhaps I don't have any light. Let's stop. All right, let's take a look at what I think is probably the best carburetor out of the 6. And it just has some flaws and some factory machining marks. Let's take a closer look. All right, so we can, hopefully you can see that. So I don't expect to take too much off, but I'm gonna just make the surface better while I'm doing these carburetors. Let's just do them all. You'll notice on the ones without the fuel enrichment, there seems to be a higher level up in this area here, plus more casting flash. The ones without seem to have a nicer look casting. Not to say that there's not problems on the other two, but I'm just saying, just from the point of the exterior finish and how things are. All right, so that was 3 thousandths cut and cleaned everything off. See that? So this one was in nice shape, and it's not showing any corrosion inside the bowl. Okay, this is AF, so I'm going to be working on this cavity, actually going to be filling this with a compound that will be fuel resistant. All right, just a short video on the next one. And this one does have its corrosion problems, so let's see how much material I need to take off to get this to serviceable condition. This is quite interesting. You see it cleaned up on a lot of the area here, except for this one side. And this whole side is low, so obviously that's a place to leak. So sometimes you just can't see everything, and this blue dye is really working out well. Second pass, we're about 10 thousandths down. You can see we still have some area here to clean up on this edge. I think this side is now clear, everything clear there. And so we'll go at it once more, and then I think this is going to be the last pass. Well, this is really looking like a similar treatment. You know, on the first carburetor that I got into that was leaking, it had a lot of pits right in this area here. The last one I did, you could see it was all low in here, and this is very similar to that one, and this thing has some it's almost like dimples in here. The rest of this I think is clean. This is a 4 thousandths cut, so I'm just going to continue on till it's all flat. Okay, on this one we're really getting into, could be the worst one here. It's got these problems going up to the screw there, but right here we have a problem of pitting, and we have a problem of pitting there. So we're going to try and take care of all these things. Okay, I know you're all saying yahoo, it's the last one, but let's take a look at this. This is getting back into this normal play here. This is a very kind of a rough surface here, and it seems to be the majority have a problem right in this area here. This one particularly is pretty good right here, except it had some corrosion issues. It caused a problem here and here, but again, those are getting taken care of as we cut it down. But I'll just zoom it in real quick. But right here, of course you can't really tell, but I can feel with my finger that it is sort of undulating. So anyway, this is with 3 thousandths taken off. So I'm going to just continue on. I'll tell you how it goes in the end. All right, just a quick note, 2 passes, approximately 9 thousandths taken off. And again, you can see the same sort of pattern that we have here. It's almost like it's been pinged kind of a look, where it's a smooth hit, smooth there. So we've seen this on several of them. So I'm going to go another 5 thousandths, see how that looks. Okay, for a little more documentation here. Okay, so we're at 14 right now, and it's not quite as nice as I wanted right here. So I think I'm going to do 2 thousandths, and that's going to be it. So we're going to go with 16 thousandths total cut on this. Let's wrap up. Just right off the bat, this is quite necessary. Okay, so some layout fluid is definitely essential. The carburetor that I've already put together, that on the part 1, I'll try and rename it part 1 on this. We take an 8 thousandths off of it, and you saw the problems that it had with this sort of like a pinging type of that I found in all 5 except 1. So we'll just go through this real quick. I'm sorry about all that, but this guy came out very nice on that 17 thousandths I had to take off, but after that was done, it comes out really nice, and of course the cover is looking good. On this one, 15 thousandths. Now this one is a little more challenging, so let's just talk a little bit more about this guy here, and I'll try and bring it up. Hopefully you can see this. We had some problems up here of just a massive pit right there, so I do have an epoxy solution in there, and it's really, there is metal all around it, so I'm not too worried about it. The other thing about this, which I have marked right here, is there's a hole in where the thread is in there. So I'm going to use a special fuel sealant, and I'll show you that in 1 second. And the rest is pretty much as it is, 15 thousandths off to get to that point. This is what I use, this Dow Corning 730. Excellent for putting this on threads for any fuel issues, something like that. So this one is going to do that. I am going to mark the screw head, and when people in the future take it apart, they will see that there's something going on. And let's just go real quick on all the screws. I have trimmed all of the screws for these bottom covers. The ones that were supplied were just too long, and I don't like that, so we're going to go with something that makes more sense. So I just put them on the lathe, cut them all down. On this one, on BR was the best. This only had the machining marks from the factory, which I have eliminated. I did a 3/1000 cut, and then of course what I do is I use that aluminum block I made up with some paper, and I just go finer and finer and finer. So this is a very nice finish there, and again the lid there. On this one here, 12 thousandths did the trick on this one. And again, I have to tell you what was an issue with most of these was right here. This was definitely a problem on many carburetors, and you just wouldn't expect it. I would set it up perfect, and you come in here and you'd see this was a leak area. So that is now eliminated. And then our last one here, this had some issues also. I do have some epoxy just here on the surface. I don't have epoxy inside here or anything like that. It's only on the surface a little bit that it should not be involved with gasoline. The seal is going to seal it properly, so I don't expect any problems with that. But I did want to bolster it up a little bit, make sure that we have the best seal that we can. And so that's it. All right, so I will then finish putting these things together and putting them onto the engine. So please like and subscribe. Thank you if you made it to the end. Thank you so much.